Hi, I'm Matt and I want to talk about XAML development. So here's something you've probably seen many times before. It's the default .NET MAUI application. And I'm going to use this to talk about applying a principle from C# to XAML. So in C# you'll create custom classes to make code easier to read and understand all the time. I want to show you what can happen if we apply that principle to XAML development. So there's the running app. I'll just stop that now. So here in my code, we've got our image, a couple of labels and a button. We're going to focus on the label for now. So what you'll see if you look here is these labels have a bunch of properties, and rather than just set all these properties all the time, I'm going to create a style to encapsulate some of these properties. So let's start with this label here, which is our big hello world message. It's kind of the title for the page, so let's create a style. Which is going to be a static resource, and we're going to call it title. Simple enough. It doesn't exist yet, we'll go and create that now. So let's go and create that over in our style resources. We've got this merge dictionary over here already, and somewhere down here we already have an implicit style for labels. What we're going to do is just set this so that it applies to all derived types, because we want all our labels to use this font and have basic settings for the colour and background and some states and things. That's all fine. Right, let's just jump to the end and we'll create a new explicit style. Target type is going to be label, and the key, we call it title. Okay, and now we can set some properties for this. So we wanted to set, let's just look across, so we're going to set the font size, horizontal options and heading level. So let's set a font size first to be 32. We'll set another property, what is it, horizontal options, center, and one more. I'm going to have to copy this one. And this was level 1. Is that right? Yeah, right. So we don't need all those. Brilliant. So now what we have, we'll format this on one line now, is a label which we're going to turn into a title style label, and that's all going to look good. Let's just run this on my Windows machine because it'll be a little bit quicker to spin up, and you'll see that it looks exactly the same. I know we looked at that. Let's open the Android version so we can see them side by side, just so they can see that they do look the same. That's how it looked before. Side by side, still look exactly the same, as you would expect, of course. So far, not showing you anything particularly new or clever. What I am going to do is come here and set the custom tool for my styles.xaml resource dictionary to MAUI style generator. And now what you see, under my styles file, I have a new styles.cs, and in here, auto-generated, we have a type called title, which inherits from label, and it just automatically applies that title style to the label. What that means is we can now come in here, get rid of all this. We need to give it tell it where it exists, so we'll create a namespace for our styles. We'll give it the alias of can't think and type. I should learn to do that. So we're in demo MAUI app resources styles, which is the namespace automatically set here. We could configure that to be different if we wanted, but that's going to be fine for now. So now we now have a title of Hello World, and everything else hidden away, not important, because if we're looking at this document and we go, oh, that's the title, it's going to be formatted like a title. That's what we hope. Let's let this spin up again. That's it. see it still looks exactly the same. So what I have here is a lot shorter code. Yes, it's using a custom type and you might not be used to that, but that's fine. You'll get over it. You'll soon learn and soon appreciate that having much shorter code that is descriptive of what the control is, where it should be used, how it should be used, is much more helpful than 5 or 6 lines like we see below. And obviously if I was to put 2 titles on a page, well, that would be weird. You wouldn't have 2 titles on a page, so we've got some meaning coming from the name we've chosen. So we've got this other text here as well, which is the Welcome to .NET MAUI description thing, which kind of feels like a subtitle. So let's create a, I'm just going to do it all backwards this time, subtitle, and the things that are going to be specifically unique to this are the text and this description. Let's just wrap the lines on that, and we'll go away and we'll create another. This one we're going to call subtitle. Did I have a capital T? Yes, I did. It's 18 and level 2 this time. Level 2. Just come back here. Now obviously while we have XAML hot reload, C# hot reload, even if I click the thing, can't make new types from new styles, so we're going to have to restart this. But we'll see we already have the subtitle here because this gets updated whenever we save the XAML file. So we now have a title and a subtitle. Get rid of the white space warning. My code has a lot shorter, 10 lines shorter at least, and we can do, let's just run this just to prove this still looks and behaves exactly the same. And you see it looks exactly the same, because it is exactly the same. There's no measurable performance difference or things to be aware of. Things like XAML hot reload still work, so we can come in here and say hello world. Let's say hello. Let me see hello YouTube, because Gerald's amazing. Let's copy him. Hello YouTube, subscribe. You can see it behaves just like normal because it is just XAML and it is just C# and it is just regular types. All that happens is I've generated some of them from the styles. So that property again. So we set the custom tool of MAUI style generator. Obviously this isn't built in. If you want to try it out yourself, go to the manage extensions, and it's this thing, XAML style types. Obviously you can see it in the, so that's what it looks like in GitHub if you have feedback, or if you want to go straight to the marketplace and download there. Here we can see, so this style up here at the top, here we've got one called heading, looks very similar to what we've just seen, and it automatically just generates. In the style.cs there is some a heading class. If we just jump back to the GitHub repo, there's some documentation here on how you can configure it, so you can control the namespace it goes in, if you want it to ignore specific types, or what else can you do? You can add extra using directives in the generated code if you need that because of whatever dependencies and whatever structure you have in your XAML code and your project overall. So that's just a quick little thing I wanted to show you. Make that go away. Hopefully you can appreciate that that is much nicer to work with than 4 unnecessary attributes. Please do all the social things. I'd love your feedback on this.